I want a CMF like HomePod tablet.
No, we don't.
Oh, CMF tablet would be so bad.
Get a Kindle Fire for kids. That's what that is.
That would be so cool with the Nothing OS. It'd be nice.
Kindle Fire. We'll just get a Kindle Fire Kids and run a ROM on it.
Oh,
yeah.
Nate, David.
Now we're talking.
What is up, people of the internet? Welcome back to another episode of the Waveform podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Marques.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm David.
And we had some stuff happen this week. We had an event. We had a Samsung event that we can talk about, unpacking all of the unpacked things. That was bad.
I feel like we make that joke every 6 months.
It's evergreen. I can't help myself. Pixel 9 rumors, CMF Phone, final thoughts, that $200 Android phone that came out, and some comments on Spotify podcasts.
Yeah.
Some fun variety.
We have comments on Spotify podcasts, or there are comments on
Both.
We have comments on the comments on Spotify podcast.
That's right.
Wow.
Good job.
Talking.
This is an all-time intro. But first thing on the list I have here is YouTube eraser tool for copyrighted music. I want to test this because I'm suspicious of it working well, but I want it to.
I think the announcement of this is suspicious of it working well as well.
So here, I'll just say what the announcement is, and then you can decide for yourself if you think it's going to work well or not. But I haven't tried it yet. So you know how if you have like copyrighted music in a video, you can just mute that section of the video or just mute the whole video to maintain normal status of the video?
Which is lame.
It kind of sucks because if it's the intro, for example, and you talk over the end of the music, you just have to mute that section.
Yeah.
So if it's the first 20 seconds, it's just completely blank, and then it just suddenly has audio again. And that's the solution that's been available for right now. This new tool is supposed to be able to use AI, you can see where this is going, to just remove the music itself from the video and leave everything else. So if you had sound effects, if you had other noises like your voice, it would stay in the video.
Yeah.
I think it should be able to work, but I'm highly suspicious.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way.
There might be some artifacting on the edges and stuff.
Probably.
But, you know.
Yeah, it's so, and like the way it works is when you get that copyright claim in your YouTube studio, it'll say like, claim is from 0 seconds to 15 seconds, right? And it'll take that part of that part of the video and have a select actions button. So you can either get rid of the song, you can replace the song with something from YouTube's copyright-free library.
Bangers.
You can just cut the segment out. I mean, it's better than nothing if it's
true.
dead quiet.
That's true.
Fair. Or you can mute all sounds in that segment.
Yeah.
They also, though, say that like in the announcement, they were basically like, you can just, the reason that cut the segment out or mute all sounds is if it doesn't work that well.
Yeah.
That's why. I'm also like wary of it working well because the blur feature that they have?
Boy, do I.
The blur feature for us has gone extremely poorly. If anyone wants to go back and look at the ROG6 phone review, I believe it is.
Oh.
There was a part in it where you had to blur out the
Email address or
it was a calendar event, I think. If you go back now, that blur has like spread to other parts of the video.
What?
Where rather than just that, there is now a floating blur around random parts of the video. Some on Marquez's face.
It's like an infection.
It literally is like infected.
Yeah, you're supposed to be able to
So weird.
like do a tracking blur. Like the tool is actually pretty good in YouTube. You're like, here's the bot. You draw the box, and it's like track it from this time to this time, and then it would seem to work. And then you hit save, and then YouTube processes it, and then you come back a few hours later, and it's like, here's the tracked blur. And sometimes it works. Sometimes it tracks the wrong thing. It tracks outside of the times you suggested. It's all over the rest of the video.
It's going on for almost a full minute in this video.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's just what it does.
It just
Oh my God.
And when you first did it, it was perfect. It worked. It is just like covering your
Everyone
face.
go watch the ROG Phone 6 review because this is so funny.
It's so if this is what happens, who are we to say that it's not going to like take out a
How
piece
is it that
of
this was correct at
This
first
isn't even-
and now it's just completely changed and now it goes on for a full minute.
I don't know.
It just blurs the entire phone.
We haven't even gotten to the part that it's supposed to be blurring.
Oh my
yet.
gosh.
But yeah, so
You
who's
should
to say
sort
that?
by new comments and see if anyone's...
No, they do. This happened because of
That's so funny.
it was on Reddit one day and I saw it from a few months old, and yeah, now there are a ton of comments like, why is part of the screen blurred? And
That's
then
super
more
funny.
people talk about it later.
Okay.
But who's to say now the music isn't going to cut off at 15 seconds first, and then next thing we know, there's just going to be like
The whole video is silent.
whole video silent, or you replace it with
the
the
whole
like
time.
YouTube library, and now it's just going throughout the entire
Weird
thing.
noises. Yeah.
We'll see.
I have
That's great.
faith.
You have faith?
I do.
You think the technology is there that it would
I do
be able
think
to pull
I think
this
the
off?
technology
Well,
is there.
Do I think the technology is there? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do I think YouTube possesses it in their arsenal? Time will tell. But like, I just set up a little demonstration here on my computer. Like, if I were to play, and this is not YouTube's tool. These are Ellis's tools. But if I were to play like
Others aren't. I know it's a weird question, but stick with me.
dialogue and music together, you know what I mean? Sorry, I was kind of loud. I'm gonna turn that down a little bit.
I was going to say, I know my headphones are hot, but wow.
But I believe I can take out almost all the dialogue pretty easily.
Wait, why is there someone just gurgling now?
Because it's not perfect, you know what I mean? And then vice versa.
Oh, yeah. Is the same true with speakers? Well,
It could take
this
out
iLoud
90% of the
Yeah,
music.
so that's
and
the
this Bay of
artifacting.
Sound Bang & Olufsen Explorer. It's not the same size, about the same weight, but totally different.
So it's
bass.
not
okay.
perfect.
I
But
like that-
also
That's
remember,
about how well it'll go.
well, also remember this is real time processing. This is
Yeah,
not
yeah,
render ahead of time. So
If it did that though, and then
Yeah.
did put the YouTube copyright free music on it, even though that music's not going to be great, if that music can
mask.
cover some of the little artifacts and not perfectness of it,
what, you don't like
it'll
the
be way
sound
better.
of
Wait, can you now take that and only take out the audio from that, or the
It just sounds like some, like,
dialogue gurgling? Never mind. We're way too deep in an
That's so
episode
funny.
already.
you mean like this?
Yeah.
Now do that 1,000 more times, and we've got a studio video.
Bangers only.
If anyone's
crazy.
curious, the plugin I was using is called Extract Dialogue by Acon Digital.
Akon. They do everything.
Love Akon.
Yeah.
Convict music. Anyway, okay. Next thing on the list.
All
I
right.
can't believe nobody picked up on that.
Akon, yeah, I just
okay.
can't
Oh, you
remember
did?
a single song that
yeah,
he
me
did.
neither.
Beautiful.
Okay, I'm glad.
No, but
Beautiful Girls?
He's the featured verse on Gwen Stefani's. What's that name of that song?
That's every Akon song. You know that one.
You know,
The Akon one.
It's the one about breaking the law.
Oh, smack that.
Every song.
yeah, that's an Akon
That's the
song.
big one.
Sweet Escape by Gwen Stefani has an Akon verse.
Sweetest.
Beautiful. Is that not the right one? Oh, that's a different
Beautiful
one.
girl.
Sorry. Okay.
I don't know.
No, that's someone else.
Sorry.
That's someone else.
Apparently,
Sean
I messed that one up. Sean Kingston. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of, okay, this is a challenging one. Speaking of things that are, where you thought they would be.
What?
No, that didn't work at all.
That's so.
I'm gonna have to try that one again later. But hey,
Wait, I got one.
Yep.
Speaking of things that you cover up, like the music that you stole.
Oh,
That's better.
Nice.
I like
Aha, Ellis.
that rolls.
Crimes.
Pixel 9 is rumored to finally get the ultrasonic fingerprint reader. Finally.
I found this funny because we talked about this last week of like one of the things on our wish list was either top of the line ultrasonic fingerprint sensors or physical fingerprint sensors. We don't want this in the middle crap. And it looks like we might be getting that for the Pixel.
I'm like very
I just want to point out that Samsung used the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor in the Galaxy S10,
And you know what's funny?
and nobody ever does it.
There's a lot of things that Samsung has been doing for many years in a row unchanged on their last few phones that are just fine, that are still totally fine. The ultrasonic fingerprint reader is one of them.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's quick. It
Works
seems to
with
work
water.
in
I love
most
mine.
conditions.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please bring it to the Pixel.
It's just crazy that it's taken this long to get to other phones, but hopefully they're using the bigger Qualcomm one that came out
Oh,
a few
yeah.
years ago. They like
Nice big
upgraded it.
sensor.
Yeah, so you have more spot to put your finger on
Yeah.
in the phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something else reading this article that I don't think we've talked about, and David seemed to know a little bit when I asked him about it, but there's supposed to be 3 different Pixel 9s this year.
Yeah, like an Ultra, but not
Well-
called the Ultra.
Well, so I think it's a little different. From what I read from this article was there's a Pixel 9, Pixel 9 Pro, and Pixel 9 Pro XL, but
Yeah.
The Pixel 9 Pro XL would just be like what the Pixel 8 Pro was, and rather the Pixel 9 Pro would be the same size as the regular Pixel 9, but getting the extra features like the third camera and I'm guessing
So
like
just
higher
not a
refresh
bigger
rate.
screen and battery.
It's all the features of the Pro, but in the smaller form factor.
And
Okay.
you'll also have the Pixel 9 Pro Fold.
Which
Oh,
is just
so
the
that's-
next fold with better naming, worse naming.
Worst naming, bro.
Well, okay, because we had Pixel Fold. So is the Pixel Pro Fold going to be better than a regular Pixel Fold, or is that just what we're calling the Fold?
we're just calling the Fold that now.
I have a
Pro
feeling it's
Fold. We're just
that.
adding
because
the word
it's
Pro.
expensive, yeah.
Okay.
Just because it's expensive.
Okay.
Marketing.
And then there's
Yeah.
going to be an A, so then we're going to have 5 different pixels.
Okay, this is my gripe about this. We're gonna put the folds number to match with everything else, but are we still gonna be a whole ass number behind on the A,
Well,
or like 6 months
we already
behind?
have the 8A, but we
Yeah.
will be 6 months behind for sure.
Yeah.
Which is dumb. Yeah,
She
I
is saying
imagine
something.
they're worried that they wouldn't sell enough of the Pro models if they launched the cheap model with the Pro models. Because a lot of the time
Yeah.
it's like the 8A is very, very similar to the 8.
Yeah.
Very, very, very similar. So I think that after 6 months or so go by, they're like, all right, now people will buy the cheaper model.
I think my gripe is just like in the calendar year, there's an 8 and a 9 coming out.
Yeah.
Where like I would love to see in the calendar year the numbers match up. I don't know
I
why that
agree.
makes me sad.
I agree. Yeah.
I'm excited for Pixel 9 Pro, the smaller,
Yeah, that
better
sounds
feature
great.
version,
That sounds great. If it's exactly the way you're describing it, it's just
Yeah.
all of the Pro features, but not bigger. That
but
sounds
not a
great.
huge screen. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is it's already big.
Yeah, but it's not going to be even bigger.
That's true.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, the rumors are that the new iPhones are going to be even larger.
Isn't
this
there
year.
supposed to be a thin also or slim?
That's going to be the
2 years?
17, I
Okay.
believe. Yeah. Slim, because they have a new battery technology.
Slim, not small, Ellis. Calm down.
Why? Why?
Yeah. Apparently, all of the Apple products are going to get like a thinness downgrade.
Why?
Because for some reason, every time we invent new battery technology that holds more power in a slimmer profile, instead of just giving us better battery life, they're always like, we can make it thinner with the same battery life, which is
Yes.
not what anybody wants.
But it's so much more appealing
Is it?
to look at. It makes a better ad,
Bro.
It makes a better poster.
This MacBook Pro,
Does it?
the thick boy, is the best thing they've ever done, making it thicker.
No, I agree.
Agreed.
I'm fully on your side. I'm just saying, if you're a company that needs to make a
money.
few headlines
Yeah.
or make a few posters or billboards,
But are we at the part of thinness becoming so minute? Like, this is like DxO Marques getting one more better score every year. Like,
Yeah.
it runs out, and now nobody talks about DxO Mark anymore. Are we that much more interesting about 0.1 millimeters thinner?
We were for the iPad.
I mean, if they are making it significantly thinner, that's sexier than significantly more battery life. Like, can you make a poster?
Is
moment?
it? Is it? I feel like
Not
I'd
for us,
Yeah, for
but
us.
for like
General.
impressing regular people.
Normies.
Yeah.
What? Really? You think
I think saying 2-day battery life versus
yeah.
a visual
1.5 millimeter
difference.
versus 1.4 millimeter
Yeah.
Yeah,
feels
but it's not the millimeter number. It's just look at this razor thin thing.
That's true. But Mark, see, here's the thing: is like if we just keep making it thinner and thinner,
crumple phone.
eventually it becomes a knife, and then we have to be worried.
A razor.
Yeah.
Razor.
Oh.
You said
Yeah.
razor thin, but it's like where does it end?
Yeah. I do think that the regular consumer, the I'm walking into a carrier store and buying the newest version of the thing, and I didn't do any research beforehand. People, which is probably like 85% of consumers, are more drawn to the fact that it looks a little bit different than the fact that it has better battery life, because they probably
That's
don't
what
even
it is.
know that.
Yeah.
But can you just make remember the Duracell phone?
Yeah.
That was like it was
20,000
milliamp hours or something, and it was like this thick,
Yeah.
and like couldn't even fit in your pocket.
It's like that eraser.
If they could make that battery capacity, but in the size of like a regular phone or slightly bigger than a regular phone, that would be sick. Or that phone, but like 100,000 milliamp hours. Let's talk about that.
charge my car.
Yeah. Charger.
Reverse wireless charging on a
100
summer.
kilowatt hours. It's
Yeah.
literally
A
car
kilowatt in your phone.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be epic if you never had to charge your phone?
I agree, but also when you like think of like movies and like futuristic tech, you never hear anyone go like, "Oh yeah, I bet those things have infinite battery life." It's more just, it's transparent. It's so thin, it's basically see-through. It's like a piece of paper with a computer in it.
Because they do photosynthesis to get power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're supposed to ignore the power part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys a question as the real experts in the room here?
No.
All right, let's
Who
move
are you
on.
talking to?
All three of you. And but I feel like you have, so in sound, there's this scientifically documented phenomenon where the louder people hear something, the more likely they are to enjoy it, regardless of the actual content of the thing. And I'm curious if you guys think there's a smartphone equivalent. Like if someone who has never seen a particular device before just holds it in their hand, is there a particular facet that just makes their brain go, this is good?
There's like 3 or 4 of those.
Weight for sure.
Weight up, weight down.
Weight up.
Heavy, good.
There is a tipping point, but generally heavier feels more premium. And less heavy.
Interesting.
I think that's true in a lot of things.
Yeah.
I think like camping equipment also gets to this point where things get so good and expensive they're supposed to be light, and those things feel cheap because they're lighter.
Yeah, when they manufacture really expensive, ultra thin material, you're like, I could rip right through this, even though you can't.
Soccer cleats, the more you pay, the less material you get. Which is really funny. The size of the screen.
Okay.
Generally.
And the brightness, I feel like.
Yeah, and the brightness of the screen. So if you're able to give someone a big, bright screen, it feels like you're getting good instead of small, dim screen bad.
Which I think is really easy because most people are walking into that Verizon store with their own phone that is destroyed, and they're like, this look bad. And they're like screen protectors, like bubbly and like half falling off. They look at that and they're like,
This
wow.
is very good. I get good.
Good product.
But is thinness one of those things, do you think?
I think when you're looking at
Visually.
it, not holding it, yes.
Yeah, visually.
I think, though, that's my argument with this is I think thinness is one. I think what we're doing to thinness right now is so minuscule that I don't think someone picking it up is going to be like, this is
That said,
that much thinner.
when you pick up the new iPad,
That's-
everyone is like, wow, this is thin.
Really?
I don't think the average person would know the difference
I don't
between
know,
those
man.
two.
I think this is a video. I think if we get like 10 people who just do not care about smartphones and just start handing them phones and be like,
You know,
like
John
they
Morris-
only get 10 seconds with them, just be like,
John Morrison did something really interesting along this line back when the iPhone
Promotion.
10R came out. No, with the remember the
LCD
low
versus
PPI
OLED.
screen? Yeah. And he put 2 next to each other, or I don't know, he put it on and was like, this is the new iPhone, what do you think? And everyone's like, this looks so good, but everyone online was like, it's 348 PPI, that's such a crappy screen. And good video.
Nerds!
I do have lots of video ideas of like man on the street style, handing a person in New York City a piece of tech and being like, and not even saying anything, just being like, what do you think? Notice anything?
Yeah.
Because I have my theories about whether or not people notice high refresh rate. But every time I think of doing one of those videos, I think someone would just grab it and run away.
I was just going to say, that video is not going to work when it's just 4 people stealing phones and
If you
like give
I got a
up.
brand new phone for you. It's about $1,000. Oh.
If you do it, you have to wear the Dyson headphones and the Vision Pro at the same time.
Well, then no one's going to come up to me.
Touch these pieces of technology.
Give me your thoughts. Yeah. We'll figure out a way to do it eventually.
speaking of really expensive phones.
Not this.
Yeah, not this one, baby.
Oh, that's a good style of segue. Speaking of not that. The CMF phone is out. We were talking about this last week, right?
The CMF phone won by nothing?
2 weeks ago.
It's kind of confusing. Yes, by nothing. It's confusing how we've covered this. We talked about it 2 weeks ago because there was supposed to be the announcement of it. And then we recorded last week's episode on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, CMF was just like, let's show everyone it. So we didn't get to talk about it at all. And then we did our whole video. So that's now out. Go watch it on the main channel. But we have some last thoughts. And also, like, I took down some things people were saying in the comments.
Sure.
That we can final thoughts it out.
You mean wrote down? We didn't take down your comments.
We took them down. I delete comments every day. It's my favorite part of the day.
He's lying.
I do not have that
I guess
power.
I'll just start with like high level thoughts on it. I think it's a pretty interesting phone and a possibly pretty compelling phone for a lot of people. It is a big phone, big bright screen, big bright, good, yes. It's a $200 phone, and it's giving you like some basic specs and a plastic build and a replaceable back and a small accessory ecosystem that could possibly grow. And that's unique. That's like pretty interesting.
I do really wish, since you can take the back off, I wish they would let you swap out the battery.
That's what most
Number
of the
one
comments
comment.
are saying.
That would have been a huge opportunity for them.
I wonder why they didn't do that.
I've got to assume that just like
Because they all knew that.
they used to do it all the time, but no one makes batteries like that anymore. So it probably.
But you can buy the battery from the manufacturer to glue into the phone.
Yeah, but it would have to be the different type of connection point on
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah,
like
you
it
need to
used
have,
to be
like,
these
pins.
pogo pins
Yeah.
that slide in.
I just
and-
miss having infinite battery life on my phone. Like you would wait until it was almost dead. You just swap in a new one that you had fully charged, and you put the dead one on the charger.
My Galaxy Nexus, I would walk around with like 4 batteries on me. Like they should not have let me
Bandolier.
onto airplanes.
You get on a plane. What are those?
That's because the
Batteries.
Galaxy Nexus needed that. I had extended battery on my my
bigger one?
Galaxy S3 actually. It had like a thicker back, and then you could buy like a thick plastic back to it, so it made the phone
Really?
thicker, but you had a bigger battery. So it was
Yeah.
like, this is my mod for
When
having
we
a
were
long
doing
battery.
research on this phone, I was like looking into, because we were talking about Moto Maker a little bit, which for those that don't remember, when the Moto X came out, which was like an amazing phone made by Motorola, but it was basically a Google Play edition in a lot of ways, you were able to like choose all of these different things about the phone. They made this whole big deal about how it was made locally in Texas, and you could change like all these different materials of the back of your phone. You could change like the colors of the buttons and all this different stuff, and it would be shipped to you, and it'd be a unique phone that was yours. And I was doing research on this because we were comparing it to that. Because you can swap out the back with the colorways and stuff. The Moto X was also $200, but it was a flagship at the time, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Had a nice
It's
little
wild.
dimple in the back.
Crazy.
That was a nice form factor.
That was an amazing form factor. I got my sister to buy it when it first came out because I was like, I got to get everyone to buy this phone. And the first day she dropped it in the toilet.
Oh,
So
wow.
they sent her another one.
Next biggest comment I saw on our video was people very upset about lack of NFC on this.
Yeah, I think it's a huge, huge miss.
Depends on the
Also-
market. So this phone is not coming to the US in the normal way. It's like it's $200 through a beta program, and I don't really know how much volume they're expecting there. But I think in the markets it's intended for, which is I think mostly Asia and India, and those markets NFC is emerging in a way that it's like you expect most new phones to have NFC, but not every phone has NFC. But it's so cheap that it's like it might as well have NFC.
Yeah.
And I don't know, for this $200 phone, it just feels like
I just wonder how much it costs to add an NFC.
I wonder that also because it's very easy for a lot of people to say like, oh, it's only a 10-cent piece or something like that. But then is that piece compatible with all the things that are already there? How many different changes? I don't know enough about creating a phone, but I just feel like it's most likely a little bit more
I'm
than just
assuming
one piece.
They already cut so many corners to make it $200.
I think $200 is such a good price on
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, and also it has a removable back. So do they put the NFC in the removable back or on the back of the phone underneath the back?
Underneath the back.
Yeah, I guess underneath it.
Yeah.
Then it's just
I
kind of
s-
exposed.
I
and-
still think they could have done it. It feels like a big miss to me, especially if you're planning on keeping the phone for a number of years. Like, yes, maybe NFC is like growing more in those markets, but do you really want to be the person who in 2 years, when all of a sudden everything has mobile payments and you don't have the thing that can do it?
Yeah.
I have a stupid question, which
Go
is
for it.
other than payments and third-party NFC like chips and tags,
Yeah.
what does it do?
NFC?
Yeah, because it doesn't do AirDrop. It doesn't do data transfer.
It's
Public transportation sometimes.
Well,
I would
but
still
that's
consider that a
payments.
payment.
Yeah, but-
oh no, I mean like a ticket. I don't know if that's as widespread.
I would still put that like
Yeah.
under payment.
Sure.
Sort of. Yeah, like it's.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that's a big thing. Just payments is huge.
Super cool thing about NFC. When your phone dies, your NFC chip in your phone can still work.
That is true.
So if you're like in the city and your phone's dead, you can still tap to get onto the subway
Okay.
because it like stores your card information in the strip.
passively.
Yeah, passively. So
But is there that much more that it does? Am I missing?
no, I mean
I just think that's a big thing.
When NFC first
But-
started coming to phones, like Samsung started marketing these NFC tags that they were selling that you could just like put all over your house, and the idea was that you could have it next to your door, so you tap your phone to the tag next to your door, and all your lights turn off, like that kind of thing.
And I have like an NFC business card that has all my personal information on it. Shout out Shen.
I see what you're saying. I don't even use like tap to pay on anything.
I'm not trying to be
so
devil's
I,
advocate even.
no.
I genuinely
Tap to pay has exploded like worldwide though in the last couple of years.
But here's the thing. So you asked in the video that you're not very familiar with the Indian market and if anybody has any experiences. And someone on our Discord, I'm going to try and pronounce his name, but I'm definitely going to get it wrong. So I am sorry. Anutosh, Anutosh. They wrote a very nice long thing in our Discord about just like in the Indian market. And the first thing is he says, use of NFC here is pretty non-existent. In India, UPI has become the primary method of transaction for anyone looking to do a digital transfer of any kind, whether it's merchant payment or paying bills.
What is UPI?
I do not know.
Is that like...
Can someone look that
is it
up?
like a WeChat kind of thing?
My guess, you don't need any special parts for that, and the transaction can be carried out securely in a normal smartphone. In fact, even features support... feature phones support smaller UPI transactions without being connected to the internet, so NFC is no loss for a phone here.
Okay. An Indian instant payment system as well as protocol developed by the National Payments Corporation of India in 2016.
But I still...
Facilitates interbank peer-to-peer person-to-merchant transactions. But is that just like a protocol that you use in an app? Because it's still easier to tap something. But I will say, like, if UPI is the main reason, the main way that people pay there, then I'm not about to be like, but you have to have NFC if nobody uses it. So
my preliminary research, and I would love to hear from our Indian viewers about how wrong I am. But it seems like UPI, the thing we can most closely compare it to in the United States is Zelle.
Yeah.
Like
that's what it seems like.
It's operated by industry representatives of the entire banking organization, and it provides secure transfer, but over classic data as opposed to...
Yeah, so is it just like in an app, you can't like tap your phone to anything to get it to
like
work?
It's integrated into lots of apps in the same way that Zelle is.
Interesting. Maybe they have QR codes that you can like scan and then it automatically opens it up and you can send money that way.
Maybe.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway.
This was interesting.
Yeah. I would like to learn more about UPI.
Thanks, Discord.
Yeah, thanks.
Did they say anything else that was interesting in that post?
I really liked how they talked about how like Carl Pei at one point a long time ago mentioned that 2 megapixel cameras and other phones were dumb, and now they've got the like basically useless camera on this.
It's almost...
That's some other useful stuff. That the initial price is an introductory offer price, and that on Flipkart it seems like it's going to be 20K INR, not 16K INR.
Okay.
Some of this I don't understand quite as much because I just...
that's something that happens a lot with budget phones. For the PR, they will launch at a really awesome price, and then all of the videos that come out about it talk about the phone that costs this much, and then a month, 2 months go by, and then the price is higher.
By the way, that's about $240 US.
Yeah.
The difference between those?
Google
not the difference, the total. Okay.
Yeah. Which is still, in the same range, but like, obviously that's a
catchy
move that they're making to make 20% more money.
Next comment I saw the most of, and Marques, you have to clue us in on here. Did you bend the back case like USB-C port when you were swirling it? Okay.
There was a bunch of controversy about that on Twitter, and people was like,
controversy?
They're just wondering,
are you going to address this? And I was like, what?
Oh yeah, it's a plastic. It's a cheap plastic back.
Yeah,
but it happened when you were like spinning it to show it.
Yeah,
rather
if
than
you put it in your
dropping
backpack, or if you put it in your back pocket, if you just carry it around, it might get bent. And I like physically bent some of them on camera as well. Yeah. If you do that too much, the thinnest part is right at the USB-C port, where there's like a cutout in the middle, so the top and bottom are the thinnest pieces of plastic. Yeah, that's probably gonna get some damage if you do that.
Torquing it like that off of the phone. Torque, not twerk. Off the phone is probably the best chance for that specific thin part because it doesn't have any support when it's on the phone. Yeah. It could happen on the phone. It's probably less likely. But again, it's a cheap plastic back. Yeah. I love the design of this thing.
It's like a $30. Yeah, I'm not.
It's cute.
I dig the back despite how cheap it is.
Yeah, you can get another one for $30 more.
Can we talk about the knob?
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Well,
you mean the
thumb screw?
Yeah, we were trying to guess last time what it would do or what it was. Turns out the answer is it's a It's a
screw
accessory mounting point.
I think deep down we all knew it was more like this.
I mean, look, the buds that they released, it is a knob. Because they have, on the buds, they have a really interesting design where the case is sort of like squared off and they have a spinnable knob thing on the corner of the case, and you control volume by controlling the case, which is weird. Like you put the buds in your ears and then you use the case knob to turn the volume up and down, which is like cool, interesting design. However, I often go on runs without my earbuds case because my running shorts like only have a very small pocket in them.
So pick the right volume before you leave.
Yeah, that seems not.
You can still do it from your phone, though, I'm guessing, right?
Probably,
yeah.
yeah, good point. Fair point.
Well, that's also just why the knob on it is kind of weird. What is the scenario where you're listening to Bluetooth music where your phone's not close enough to press, but the case is close
Well, if you
enough
went
to
on a
control?
run without your... Yeah, I don't know. You probably can't store music on it anyway. Okay. Anyway, the knob on the knob
phone.
screw, the screw on the phone.
Yeah, the thumb screw.
The thumb screw.
Got there.
Yeah. It attaches a bunch of accessories, as we said. There's a wallet case accessory, which I imagine is supposed to be because it doesn't have NFC, I guess. The cool, interesting thing about the wallet accessory, even though it's really crap, is that we found out that it has like a back plate that you mount on, and then the wallet is magnetic to that magnetic back plate. And the back plate has a circular ring that is like basically MagSafe.
It's pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah,
It snaps into place.
and we tested it on a bunch of MagSafe accessories, and it works really well. So you could, if you have a MagSafe car mount, you can use this in your car, which is pretty sweet. Yeah.
That's nice. I like the kickstand. I think the kickstand is cool because it like only takes up a little bit of space on the bottom.
Yeah.
Or if you're on a plane, just keep it in your backpack. Then I don't always have to carry around this bulky case with a kickstand.
Yeah.
But for a plane, I
Yeah.
can just pop it down.
How about
I
that
think
lanyard,
that's
though?
All I
that
could think
lanyard?
of is that song "Do Your Chain Hang Low" when like Brandon and you were walking around with the lanyard on, like literally under your waist.
Swinging
Yeah.
your like waist level. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a thick lanyard.
It's like climbing rope thick.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's weird. I know it looks weird, but a lot of people who travel will often attach their phone to a lanyard and put it around their neck so they don't get it stolen.
The problem with this is at the absolute tightest, it was still probably like a foot down from Marquez's like neck. It felt like it was hanging so much and like swinging all over the place.
Yeah. It has SD card expansion, which is nice, up to 2
Cool.
terabytes.
Micro SD. Yeah.
So you can have a massive storage on your phone. And
That is in place. I opened the phone. That's the in place of a second SIM card. So you can either have a second SIM card or the micro SD card.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's fine.
But that's fine.
Oh, seconds. Okay.
I don't
That's
need a
so
second
cool.
And then it has a adaptive 120 hertz display, which is cool for being this cheap.
It's smooth.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
And, you know, when the CMF Phone 1 by nothing has a 120 hertz display and the base iPhone still doesn't,
Got him.
Apple,
Called out.
I feel like at some point, well, they probably don't have to. I'm just saying, like,
They don't have to do it.
they don't have to do anything. And normal people still don't care. But it seems like eventually they would have to take the ProMotion name away, but they're just never going to do that. It's always going to be 60 hertz. Let's be real to ourselves.
That's really sad.
It is sad.
I'm like,
Pour one out
I like feel
for the
bad. I
base
feel bad.
iPhone users out there.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. So
Did you get a chance to try the Watch Pro 2?
Not yet.
Okay. First gripe. How do you go from CMF Watch to CMF Watch Pro 2? I feel like it should either be the CMF Watch Pro or the CMF
2.
Watch 2.
yeah.
It's the same price. I don't know what's pro
Because
about it.
The first model was a white labeled Amazon product.
Allegedly.
But remember when we went on and we just searched smartwatch and it was the exact same product?
Allegedly.
Yeah, it looks a lot different than the white labeled product from last year.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I
Makes
did read a
Scathing.
quick, good article from Ben Schoon at 9to5 Google about this CMF watch, and he's not a fan, is the nicest way of putting it. He loves the CMF phone, hates this Watch Pro 2. Essentially, a lot of it was just like the software was terrible, it looks bad, and that when the main thing about it is like activity tracking, he said he did like 4 hours of hiking around, and it captured like 19 minutes of it. And that his wife was using a Pixel Watch 2, I think, and that it captured all of it and had a bunch of good metrics. And when you're comparing it to the Pixel Watch 2 as the like gold standard, you're not doing a good job. If you're that much lower than the Pixel Watch 2,
Yeah.
you're not doing a great job.
Devil's advocate.
Okay.
Pixel Watch 2 is $279. CMF Watch Pro 2 is about 25% of the price, so it captured 25% of the information. So,
Okay, fair.
There's that.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
These watches are definitely cheap. I get people want to do like activity tracking, and it's probably the cheapest option. But if it's not even doing that great, I don't know. I'm interested if we get the chance to test it out. There's so many things going on already that we're at Unpacked in July.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about Unpacked in the middle of July right now?
Yeah.
In the beginning of July.
The beginning of July.
Yeah.
So
the watch is interesting in a number of ways. Like they have these hot swappable top plates that make it look pretty different.
Oh, that's a touch.
they both
kinda
still
cool.
look bad, and I think one costs more money, right? The better looking one costs money.
My hot take that might get me yelled at is that CMF as a brand has sort of gone for a Fisher Price on purpose kind of vibe. And for the phone, that's acceptable because it's kind of hip to like pull out a Fisher Price phone. But like a Fisher Price watch feels less hip to me.
This does feel kind of like,
This is not Fisher Price. This is Casio. It's a classic.
I think the CMF phone looks fantastic, and I don't know if I
Yeah.
would call it Fisher Price.
You wouldn't?
I think the plastic on the back is Fisher Price
It's
esque, but it
orange.
looks great. I think that looks. So is Teenage Engineering, and that it's not Fisher Price prices.
Fancy. Change Engineering is like
Fancy
hot
Fisher Price. There,
right?
that's how you're gonna get yelled at in the comments.
Everyone will agree with me.
Teenage Engineering is posh Fisher Price.
Yeah, the style, not the quality.
They do kind of have this thing going on where they'll sell you a cheap base thing and then like a bunch of little expensive markup
To make it the
items
same price
to
as a
end up
regular
spending
device.
The same. Like if I get the CMF phone but I get 3 backs, I just spent $300. You know?
Yeah.
So they can make their money back with these little upgraded things. If you buy a kickstand, you buy some other stuff, get a lanyard. That's kind of what I'm observing here.
Love the phone. Watch to be decided.
TBD.
Also, the earbuds TBD.
Yeah, earbuds also TBD.
Yeah.
So speaking of things that start with the letter T,
Bro,
trivia.
that was a good one. How have we?
Nice.
Trivia. So this question is inspired by CMF not including NFC on their phone. And we all know about Nearby Share. Hilarious
Quick
name.
share now is what it's called.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. About
Officially.
it. That's funny.
Yeah.
It's Google's answer to AirDrop. La-di-da. But prior to Quick Share, there was Nearby Share. And
Correct.
prior to Nearby Share, Google, there was a wireless data transfer protocol that actually did use NFC. You had to take 2 phones and make a kiss.
Yep. I loved it. I loved it.
What was it called?
I know this. You remember this.
I want
Nexus
can you-
4.
Can
Phone-
you tell me a Nexus
phone-
4?
Nexus 4. Yeah.
Good call, David. That was it.
Nexus 4. I'm picturing the Nexus 4 with the like squares on the back.
The Nexus 4 had the the stars on the back.
Yeah.
Like sparkly
It was
back.
totally flat.
Oh, that was the one that we bought later, and it was like melting.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Dang. What was it called? Okay, I don't know. I don't want to think about that one. Answers will be at the end, like usual, and we'll be right back after this break. Support for Waveform comes from Netsuite. So your business can't succeed if costs spiral out of control. But if you want to actually grow, you have to keep your eye on a lot more than that. There are a zillion tasks to keep track of and to-do lists that are always changing. It's a headache, but there may be a solution out there. Netsuite can help you get a bird's eye view of everything your business needs to thrive. So Netsuite is a top-rated financial system bringing accounting, financial management, inventory, and HR into one platform and one source of truth. With NetSuite, you can reduce IT costs because NetSuite lives in the cloud with no hardware access required, so it's accessible from anywhere. You can cut the cost of maintaining multiple systems because you've got one unified business management suite. Plus, NetSuite can help you improve efficiency by bringing all of your major business processes into one platform, so you're slashing manual tasks and errors. Over 37,000 companies have already made the move to NetSuite. By popular demand, NetSuite has extended its one-of-a-kind flexible financing program for a few more weeks, so head to netsuite.com/waveform. 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 Support for Waveform comes from Shopify. So if people don't buy anything from your business, then your business won't be business for very long. There are a ton of different ways to connect with customers, but only one that combines point-of-sale management with the tools you need to grow your operation. If that sounds appealing, you might want to try Shopify. Shopify is a global commerce platform that can help your business grow no matter what stage you're at. So the platform makes it easier than ever to sell everywhere, combining a class-leading e-commerce platform with an adaptable in-person point-of-sale system. According to Shopify, they can help convert more browsers into buyers with a checkout process that performs 36% better than comparable commerce platforms. So you can sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/waveform. You can go to shopify.com/waveform now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/waveform. All right, welcome back. We've got to unpack some announcements and an event that Samsung held this week.
Today.
It was called Samsung. Yeah, it was actually the day that we're recording.
An hour ago.
Samsung Unpacked. So I made a video with my first impressions of all the products. So the Z Flip, the Z Fold, the Watch Ultra, the Buds 3, the Buds 3 Pro, and the Ring. So if you want to check out impressions and first hands-on looks at any of those things, check out that video. But the event itself was also like, we were watching it this morning, and it struck me as just having so many generic quotes and weird, awkward moments and forced applause that I don't know what's happening with events anymore. It just feels kind of unnecessary.
Investors.
I feel like it turned on. It had their montage in the beginning, which was like this kid skateboarding and with really bad acting all around, where he keeps going to different types of like sports and activities and asking them to play through the translator on his flip.
Yeah.
Every scene of them playing sports felt like the Catwoman basketball scene of just
Iconic scene.
really brutal acting and up close. Like you have to get really close to make it look like they're actually playing the sport.
Where neither the actors or the directors have ever played the sport.
Exactly. Yeah. Like the basketball scene was like two people dribbling basketballs while like dancing. And then this like up close version of him like hanging on the rim and dunking a basketball.
Or that scene in Camp Rock when the person goes on and plays the DJ set and it's really, really bad. And everyone goes, she's really good. Yeah.
But then after that, we had 25 minutes of just cruising through products, which I loved. In 25 minutes, they covered the Ring, both of the watches, and like half of the Fold. And I was like, oh, we're cruising. This is going to be a short event.
And then it was an hour and 15 minutes.
And then Gemini comes up and just all the air gets sucked out of the room. And I just basically fell asleep.
So yeah, they had to do that Galaxy AI section. They showed us the new section at the top of the settings with all the different features, which had some useful stuff. Like in Samsung Notes, you can draw a bunch of stuff and then it'll turn it into real drawings or real art. It'll summarize stuff in the browser if you use Samsung's browser, things like that. I like the generative fill around your image. If you change the horizon line, you get more around what you shot. And it seemed to work pretty well. But yeah, they just kind of have to do the Apple thing, which is we put all of the AI in one place so you know where to find it and it's at the top and you don't forget that it exists. We're an AI company, we swear.
I'm going to look this up now to make sure that I'm right. But in that section, they talked about circle to search. And I swear in the background, they had someone using an S Pen on the front side of a Fold. And I haven't seen anything about that, but we talked about this last week. So
we did.
You guys can keep talking about Gemini, and let me try and find this in the stream pack. In the stream.
But yeah, then we got Gemini. So was the Ring also before Gemini? Like all of the stuff?
Yes, the Ring and the Watch and like half of the Fold, and then that's how they got into Gemini.
So I guess we can go through each of the products one by one and just give our reactions to those because I got hands-on time. You've seen the specs and the announcements. So phones, we'll just start with that.
Okay.
Z Fold 6, Z Flip 6. Very much similar looking to the last year of the Fold 5 and Flip 5. They're both $100 more expensive though. So it's $1099 for the Flip and $1899 for the Fold. And with that, you get a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. You get better cooling, bigger vapor chamber. You get a new ultra-wide camera. And I think it's a slightly larger battery in the Flip as well. So you go from 3,700 to 4,000 milliamp hours, and you get basically all the baseline, like 12 gigs of RAM and the cameras from the S24. So basically S24 interior. And squared off sides, slightly different camera housing, like slight design changes, a little bit of an update to the hinge. Apparently the coating on the folding screen is slightly different. It's like a little bit thicker, which allowed them, or it's more durable, which allowed them to remove some layers. I don't know how that's going to work over time, but yeah, basically they look very similar to last year's phones, aesthetically anyway.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
I kind of think that at this point, the Razr is a lot cooler than the Flip, in my professional opinion.
Is this aesthetically or like overall?
Both, because the Flip still isn't like a full screen display.
True.
It's like kind of got that weird like cutout.
I didn't notice it as much until they like had it up on the screen and then a bunch of screens behind what it all could do, and it looks like the folder as like a Mac icon.
Yeah,
which I thought was
it does. Yeah, I don't know. I like that the Razr, the new Razr especially, is like full screen, and the new Razr also has this really cool feature where this is just silly, but if you open it halfway, it opens up the camera and it enables like this camcorder mode.
Yeah.
And then you can like zoom in and out by
I think
moving
Samsung did exactly the same thing.
Did they really?
I think so. Yeah. I might have to double check that, but I think that they also did that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, I think that a Razr is cooler than the Flip because the Flip kind of just feels at this point like it's the absolute default version of a clamshell foldable phone.
That's probably their goal.
Yeah, I mean, every Samsung phone at this point is the most boring, default, safest version of an Android phone in any given form factor. Same with the Fold. Like the OnePlus Open is a cooler phone.
But yeah, I guess the Razr is interesting because it costs less.
Yeah.
Like the Razr Plus, I think, is $1,000, and then the Razr is $650.
Yeah.
So
this is now $1,100.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting.
It is Samsung, and the build quality is really good, and everything about it is good. It's just kind of boring.
Yeah.
Can I interrupt real quick? I found the part I was talking about. Does this, I can't tell what phone this is, but does that not look like using an S Pen on the front
it does
of a Galaxy Fold?
It does to me.
Looks like it's pretty narrow.
I saw nothing about it.
And they didn't say anything about it.
No, this was just in the background of when they were starting to talk about Circle to Search.
Interesting.
I can't tell. We'll have to test it. It would be awesome if they added this because we just talked about this last week about how nice this would be.
Yeah.
But that might be, can you use the S Pen on the Flip interior screen?
I don't think so.
Don't think so.
Is that a S24 Ultra? It's cropped in so weird.
Yeah,
I can't totally tell. And it's like with a person with gloves on. So they're covering over.
I guess we'll test it. We'll
Yeah.
test it and see.
We'll find that out.
Yeah. So what are the interesting updates this year to the foldables?
That's basically it. I mean, so the Flip has that battery bump, I think, is probably the most substantial hardware change for people.
47 to 5,000?
37 to 4,000.
37 to 4,000.
And obviously the new chip and like the NPU, which does all the AI stuff. And then the Fold, it's like, a lot of subtle improvements with that one.
But there are new AI features,
stuff is
right?
The AI features is most of the new stuff. So yeah, if you plan on using summarization or having it write emails for you or sketch things
David's
for you.
favorite.
It can do all the stuff now, and it's all at the top, but you can just play with that settings toolbox.
The video like creator segment they did for the like sketching and AI image generating thing was painful. You missed this, so I'm going to explain it to you because you are going to
I was driving to work.
You're going to hate this.
Oh no.
It's a creator who I'm not exactly sure who he was, is basically parked out on this like mountainside in the dark looking at the Milky Way galaxy and like the stars.
Okay.
And so he's using that as inspiration for what he's going to draw. So he takes a photo of the stars and he draws a constellation, and then that constellation kind of looks like the Eiffel Tower. So then he decides to enter in the Eiffel Tower into a like AI image generation studio and creates like an AI image of the Eiffel Tower. And that was the inspiration from the beautiful Milky Way galaxy in the dark, beautiful outdoors.
What?
Wait, so he never drew anything?
No, he did though later cut himself out with AI and drag a photo of himself into the fake AI image Eiffel Tower.
Wow.
This
is pretty
gonna
sweet.
Be so popular. Everyone's gonna use this.
It's not a Samsung event without like a pretty brutal creator getting like thrown to the dogs in the middle of
they
the
got paid
event.
a lot of money, so you can't really feel that sorry for them.
Yeah, I
That
guess.
other creator too that they had there, Sydney Sweeney.
Who's that?
Sorry.
Who is she again? She's an actress, right?
Creator.
Extremely popular actress right now.
She's created some things.
What's she in?
She was on Hot
Euphoria.
Ones.
She actually,
Euphoria?
Yeah.
Hot ones.
Is Euphoria
on
still
Hot Ones.
happening?
Either way, she's in a lot of different things. She's extremely popular.
They
and
like
they
made an AI image of her or something.
and then we're like, what do you think? And she was like, neat.
That's so cool. Nice.
Nice.
That happened as well.
She was in Madam Web.
Weird event, man.
I haven't seen it.
What was the boardroom meeting like when they decided we're going to have her sit in the front row and then we're just going to cut to a camera reaction of her going, cool. And then the crowd's going to clap.
It was no more than 20 seconds, I feel like.
It was
Really
tight.
hope they
pretty
paid her a lot of money.
Can I say one AI thing
No.
that I did like?
Okay.
There was, and this is like so simple, but it was like instant slow-mo on videos where if you take a video and you're watching it back, you just hold the screen and it'll slow-mo where you're holding the screen. Because right now the current slow-mo mode on everything is so annoying when it like decides where the slow-mo wants to be itself.
Yeah.
Most of the time gives it way too much time. So you're trying to do something like a golf form check and it will start slow-moing before you make any movement for like 20 seconds.
Wait, I think you might have that feature on your phone.
Really?
Because I think I already have that feature.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I did not know
there's an
about
article, Instant Slow-Mo is one of my favorite Galaxy S24 features.
It's
I remember when this came out on the S24, and I think some people were testing it, and it kind of makes weird like
Adds frames.
artifacts.
Oh, yeah, that's from January.
Yeah, because it's adding frames and it's making up frames. So I remember seeing some stuff about there being weird artifacting,
Okay.
and, like morphing in some instances.
So I guess that's the issue is it's not doing the slow-mo video. It's doing it to regular video.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
annoying. I wish just I took the high frame rate video and
Yeah.
then I got to do that later because dragging the little things is so annoying every time.
Yeah. Okay. What other AI features can we dunk on?
Honestly, that's kind of most of the AI stuff. I mean, Circle to Search is the one that by far most people use.
The best one.
Yeah.
And it's the best one, and it's still really good.
Yeah.
So
There's like translation stuff and how you can use it with the flip screen. So like you can see it on one side and they can see it on the other side.
yeah,
Cool.
One-way live translate. What's that?
you're just like eavesdropping on people speaking another language, basically.
Nice.
Sweet.
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool, right?
Marques, is the fold still narrow?
The fold outside screen is about 2 millimeters wider than before. It is definitely still narrow.
I thought they said it was taller.
I'm also after the dinner
I
I had
think
last night.
all of the bezels are smaller, and so yeah, it probably is a tiny bit taller. But I think
Okay.
they told me like, oh, it's 2 millimeters wider. Like we're trying to make it more usable. But I typed on it. It's very much still a narrow screen.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the phones.
Nice.
What do you want to do? Watches?
I'm way more interested in the watches.
I've heard. Okay, so
The most
Watch
interested.
7, Watch 7 Ultra both come out or get announced. Watch 7 is looking very similar. It's got the thin bezels. It's still circular display. It's still got 2 sizes and all that. Watch 7 Ultra is very much a one-to-one recreation of the same place in Apple's ecosystem that the Watch Ultra lives. Same name, actually, Watch Ultra. It's $650, but for that, here's what you get. The same 1.5-inch size screen, but it's sapphire crystal.
As the bigger one.
As the 47
As the
millimeter
44.
7.
44.
The 44, the bigger one.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not 47?
Yeah, it's 44.
44, yeah. It is water resistant to 100 meters. It is made of titanium, and it's got this much bigger body behind that circular face. So we've talked about this on the pod before. It's like a circular watch face, and underneath it is this like a kind of a squircle type shape with a larger battery.
I think it's a bummer that the screen size of the Ultra is the same as the 44. I would like a bigger
Yeah,
screen.
it's not
on the
bigger.
wrist. Yeah.
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 Would have been nice.
2
It's still a
inches.
circle. You also get dual frequency GPS, which I think is also in the new Watch 7.
Mm-hmm.
And you also get this big orange action button. I mean, quick button. Quick button is what it's called. It's not an action button.
It
That's
does
Apple's
actions, though.
But when you press it, it says select an action. So,
Select a quick.
yeah.
I thought that was a knob dial, and it's just a button. It really makes it look like it's a dial, and I'm a little
Yeah, it's
upset
kind of
about
like
that.
knurled, I guess, like a dial would be, but it's just a button. And if you hold that button, you can also get this like loud siren, like an 85 dB siren. When we were shooting hands-on, people kept pressing it and activating the siren every couple seconds, which was really great. Thanks, guys. Keep doing that. That's awesome. It's like a $650 watch that looks and feels like it's matching up head to head in the Samsung ecosystem the same way this Ultra watch does in Apple's ecosystem, except you can only use it with a Samsung phone.
All right, sorry to interrupt. Future Andrew here. we mentioned and are going to keep mentioning how the Samsung Watch and Ring only work with Samsung phones. It's only Thursday. A bunch of people just got their review units, and there's been a lot of conflicting stuff where the reviewers' guides all say only available on Samsung phones, and people are testing it, and it seems like they work on some of their Android phones, but you're missing a bunch of features. So either way, it seems like the sentiment is still kind of true of there's some limits here. So we're going to keep that stuff in, but just know it seems like it does work with some phones. We will be testing it more. Everyone will be testing it more, but we're not 100% sure what is and is not available between these accessories and other Android phones. Okay, back to the show.
That's rough.
Why?
Because a lot of Google Wear, Android Wear? Why am I? Used to be Android Wear.
Wear OS.
Wear OS, yeah. A lot of Wear OS watches you can use with any Android phone.
It's also Android Wear perpetually in my head.
So although, the Pixel Watch is only on Pixels, right? Or can you use the Pixel Watch with any Android phone?
I thought you... Wait, sorry.
Yeah,
did I miss something?
Any Android. Pixel Watch works with any Android.
Yeah, so it's kind of rough.
Oh, this only works with... I just missed you saying that. I'm
works,
sorry. That is rough.
It only works with Galaxy
That's
phones.
stupid.
I agree.
Glad I have a Galaxy phone because I think this is sick.
Yeah. Now
same boy.
Now Samsung should get the same amount of scrutiny that Apple gets for.
They should. That's stupid, Samsung.
Yeah.
You should feel ashamed.
You've got all the stuff in the Samsung Health app. Then just make the Samsung Health app the app that you connect the watch through.
Yeah, you can just put that on an Android phone. I've had it on there accidentally before because I just transferred from a Samsung phone to a Pixel phone and it was there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
48-hour battery life in exercise power saving mode and 100-hour battery life in power saving mode.
I found something on their website that I thought was interesting here.
Sure.
Okay, so we were trying to figure out what exercise power saving mode means. And we thought it just meant normal use of exercising, but on the Samsung website, and David and I looked at this, it's hilarious because under this there are so many asterisks.
Yeah.
A wild
so
amount.
funny.
But one of them says, in normal battery mode, when power saving mode or exercise power saving mode is off, battery life is up to 60 hours with always on display enabled and up to 80 hours with always on display disabled. So I still don't know what exercise power saving mode means. I'm assuming it's when you're in an exercise activity, it turns on some sort of power saving mode to not do other background apps and only focus on health metrics.
I think it's less samples. So in a regular exercise mode, it's sampling all the time and updating every 1 or 2 seconds. And in exercise power saving mode, maybe you're doing an ultra marathon or something. You don't need every 2 seconds to be measured. It spreads out the measurements and samples way less. So it's a equivalent power saving mode for exercising.
But the cool thing here is if you are just using this as a watch and, through 2 to 3 days of no different activities, 60 hours of battery life with always on display on, and then if it's off, so you're just doing raise to wake, 80 hours.
That's pretty good.
That seems like great numbers that they just seem to not talk about at all.
That's pretty much equivalent to the Apple Watch, I would say, from my experience. 60 hours being, let's say, 2.5 days. I think that's what I'd get out of my Apple Watch Ultra if I just use it like a regular watch with always on.
You're saying 60 hours is what they say, and you get closer to 2.5 days, not...
No, 60 hours.
Oh, yeah, I guess that is 2.5 days. Yeah.
It's about what I'm getting, so.
But I've been using Raise to Wake, so 3 days essentially with 80 hours. That would be great.
Yeah.
That seems like solid battery life, though. My other question is, so the watch band connection point on this looks different from the regular Galaxy watches, which are used to be or still are in the just regular Watch 7. Essentially, the metal piece that contracts inwards goes in and then has 2 pins.
Yeah.
This looks like almost more similar to the Apple Watch where it slides in. If you look at the photos of it. My question. Well, first of all, that sucks that you can't use the bands because I love all these bands, even though they are pretty much one-to-one ripoffs of the Apple Watch bands because I love the Apple Watch bands. I know Marques has answered this already. What are the chances you think you can slide an Apple Watch band into this Galaxy Watch Ultra?
It's probably not the same
See how it goes
It looks like it's a similar...
It's
band.
very similar.
It looks extremely similar, but I bet you they're slightly different sizes.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I'm holding out optimism for
You're trying to use an Apple Watch band with the Galaxy Watch
I want
Ultra.
the trail band from the Apple Watch, which there is a trail band for the Galaxy Watch Ultra, but it is more similar to the Alpine Loop from the Apple Watch Ultra. Literally same name, different band, which I also think is cool. But I love all the Apple Watch Ultra bands.
I feel like that's true for musical bands too.
Similar, but
Same name, different band. Yeah. Sorry.
Andrew, I would say hold out hope for clones of the Apple Watch bands.
I do not have a lot
$7
of
Amazon bands, baby.
yeah, right. This is a year and a half old and was $8, and it came with 2, and I'm only
It
using
looks
one.
brand new.
It's because it's green, so
Yeah, fair.
it's only can morph into the more nasty version of it.
I have
so.
a question.
Yeah.
Is there anything between the two watches that differentiates the Ultra other than just pressing the button?
The battery.
The battery.
The battery's a lot bigger.
Okay. That's it.
Oh, yeah. No, there's a bunch. It's 100-meter water resistance versus normal IP68. It's titanium. It's got the bigger battery and bigger chassis, obviously.
Dual
the
frequency
extra
GPU.
button. Dual frequency is all of them.
both
It's
have-
on both. Okay,
Yeah. So it's a couple things.
and the bands only work with that one. Like they're literally different bands that won't work with each other.
Right. I'm very interested.
I want this 100%. Samsung, can you send us a couple extras of these?
It's
please?
weird that they did different bands.
It is weird that
Yeah,
they
I think
did
that's
that.
odd.
Yeah.
But I think this looks so sick. I like my Garmin, but I'd be super interested in using this, and I think I'm okay with that. I want this. What color do you want, Adam?
Trail band in the white color. I already have it picked out.
In white color.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, the trail band's the white color. I think I like titanium. I like titanium silver because I like only the orange on the button versus the orange. Because when you do titanium gray, you get the orange on all the notches.
Yeah, that's what I want.
That looks good when you have the orange band. I think the other one would look better if I changed the band out to other things, but I want titanium silver with orange trail band.
Fair.
I wonder if I will ever wear a smartwatch again.
I get stuck in this situation because Garmin, the thing that I like about it is that it's cross-platform.
Yeah. Even though you
this
get
is even
every
more,
notification
like,
on
yeah,
the
but this
iPhone.
keeps getting more specific. Like now it's only on Galaxy devices, not even
Yeah.
just Android devices.
That's messed
you know?
up.
Welcome to the galaxy, my friend.
Let's do it. Let's
good to have you.
join the ecosystem, Adam. Just you and me, baby.
You're already
Just
Dexing
us.
every day.
Yeah, right?
That's true.
Dexing daily.
Speaking of the next thing, if I was going to do this, might as well try the Buds Pro 3,
Yeah.
the industrial AirPods Pro.
Yeah.
The buds are redesigned, and I think they look really good, to be honest. Even though they have that big stem, they have like a triangular stem instead
Yeah.
of a circular one, and then the blade lights on the Pros look kind of cool. Not that I need lights.
I
on
don't
my
understand
buds.
indicator lights on earbuds.
Yeah, we talked about this last time. It's
You
like,
can't see it.
only a few.
Are you a
things.
fish?
You look in the mirror.
Wait, one thing they told me it was maybe useful for finding them when you lose them. You can light them up, find them in the dark.
Yeah, in the pure dark.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
nothing.
only when you're already half asleep, you're like, where are my earbuds?
Do you know if it in active noise canceling was like glowed red, so then maybe less people would try and talk to you when you have them in? I
That
feel
would
like
be
that
nice.
would be fantastic for all the people who are like, I just wear AirPods so nobody talks to me.
Or
while I'm
strangers would
walking.
come up to you and be like, "Hey, your earbuds are about to die."
But by the way, what's going on? My name's Ish.
Yeah. You know what's
Backfires.
interesting about the Buds 3 versus the Buds 3 Pro is they both have ANC,
Yeah.
but only the Pro has ambient mode. And usually it's the other way around.
Really?
Maybe.
I feel like
I think,
ANC.
yeah, that's true. And the Pros also have adaptive ANC, which is if it picks up on like you're having a conversation, it will lower the noise cancellation. Or if there's some siren you need to hear, it can block that out.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit smarter than just pure regular ANC.
Yeah.
So if
whereas
I'm
the regular ones don't have it.
if I'm setting off the siren on my Galaxy Watch Ultra, you'll be able to hear me even if you have ANC on.
I mean, if I'm biking down the street, I don't really want my music to go away so I can hear the ambulance that's going to pierce my ears.
Wait, no, yes, you do, so you don't get hit by the ambulance. Yes, that's the exact reason.
Let's be real. The ANC is not. I mean, the ANC is not that good that I'm just not going to hear the ambulance.
That's
Probably.
I'm going to hear the ambulance.
I feel
It
like you
doesn't need to be
described the
louder.
one scenario on which you need that exact
if I'm biking down the
feature.
middle of Fifth Avenue, I don't want to hear the ambulance.
I don't want to hear the guy
behind me.
honking at me.
Go
Yeah,
around
that's
me.
so annoying. Yeah. But yeah, that's the buds, and then we finally got details on the ring.
They have
Galaxy
Auracast,
ring.
though. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's cool too.
Yeah, they've got-
Oh, and they're $179 and $249, so like the same as Apple's prices again.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the ring. Okay. So there is no ring in everybody's ecosystem, but they added a ring to theirs, and it will have all the features you'd expect from a smart ring. It's got a couple sensors. It measures your heart rate. It has a skin temperature sensor, and it will do the same feeding back to your smartphone and like feeding into the information for your energy score in the health app. So you've got an energy score the same that the watch would give you.
I just want to point out Garmin was really a trailblazer. Got it.
Nice.
On this feature. Their body battery thing they've had for a long time. Everyone is copying it now.
Yeah. Does Whoop do that too?
Yeah.
They
score
do.
They definitely have some
It's
sort
not
of
called
recovery.
body battery, but yeah, it's just recovery
Yeah.
scores. and
recovery
metrics and stuff.
scores. Yeah.
Yeah. Scores are fun. I like that the 8 Sleep gives me a number every day.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like hit a high score kind of.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm into it. But yeah, there's 3 colors: black, silver, gold. It's a little bit concave so that it's less likely to scratch if you like knock it against something.
Well, oh no, I'm thinking of the Oura Ring. The Oura Ring has 2 models that look different.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the Oura Ring, funny you bring that up, has a $6 a month subscription.
Yeah.
This one has no subscription. So it's $399, no subscription.
But it's $100 more.
But it's $100 more than the base Oura Ring.
I'm so interested in this.
So there you go. I'm going to try it. I'm going to test it. I'm very curious. I mean, I use this Samsung phone anyway, so I think you also need a Samsung phone to use this ring.
Just it doesn't make sense.
They're
If you can put
literally-
Samsung Health on, just let it.
They're trying to keep people in the ecosystem.
Yeah, it makes sense. I just
It's
hate it.
like,
We're getting the ecosystem we wanted so bad, and they're doing it exactly like the ecosystem
It's like-
we all hate so much.
like Apple's getting so much like criticism and scrutiny, and then all the
They
other
should.
companies are like, we're gonna do it anyway.
I mean, we should have all seen this coming.
I guess, but like I would take it as a warning sign
Yeah,
if
I
I,
don't know,
was
it's
a
working out for
bigger
Apple,
company.
so I get it.
Well, that's why the companies are doing it, because it's working out for Apple.
Yeah, that's true, and they haven't actually gotten in real trouble for it yet.
I
Well,
just
and-
wish I can take the best Samsung features or products that I want and use it with any Android phone, which I feel like you
How
used to
dare
be able
you.
to do all the time.
You want
that would
you want
be
Dex on a
2012.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be 2012.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, the Mayan calendar and everything.
The Ring to me. Oh, sorry, you just answered your phone, so I was.
No, I'm
just-
converting it into a. Someone randomly called me, and I'm answering it with Bixby.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, while you do that, rings, I totally get why a lot of people like them. I just feel like if you're like, Adam, when you're going to go lift, are you going to wear the ring when you're lifting?
Yeah, I do. And it has marks and scratches all over it.
Oh, that feels so uncomfortable.
It
metal.
is uncomfortable, especially like doing pull-ups and stuff like that. I get like
you do
these-
pull-ups?
yeah, terrible blisters. But eventually you just get used to
If
it.
only you
It's
had
fine.
like a wrist to put something on.
Yes. And
You're a watch guy.
Yeah,
I
I'm a
get it.
regular watch
Like
guy.
I said, I get the ring. I don't think I could ever use it because of climbing or like lifting. I don't like that. And
I
also
feel like lifting is fine. Climbing is a specific
climbing,
use case
should
where you would
not
have to
do
take
it
it off.
Yeah, it's funny. I always see. I never notice rings on people's fingers, but I'm always afraid to wear one because I think you have to be like a ring guy to wear a ring. You know?
it's.
I used to think
I don't
that.
think you
It's
have
fine.
to. I think they're
whatever.
way more popular now.
Yeah, I think
it
you're
does take a minute to get used to. My wedding ring took me a very long time to get used to. I used to go home and just take it off immediately because I just was not used. And then that's when I started wearing a smartwatch. So having a ring and a watch all of a sudden made my hand feel like heavier.
Wow.
And I didn't like it.
Well,
but
my 8 Sleep already gives me all this information and helps me sleep better.
But not while you run or work out.
yeah, that's
Yeah, do you play sports with a ring on?
Play sports on my 8
Like you
Sleep.
climb, you can't climb with a ring.
no. I take that off.
What
I used
about-
to not even play video games with my ring
Do you,
on.
Yeah. I take
it's
my
on
watch
your-
out to play
do you,
Dota.
you can't. Well, you can throw with it, I guess. I don't know.
I wear my ring when I'm playing disc golf, but it's on my left hand, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. If I was catching, if I was golfing.
No, when I did play a little Ultimate after I was married, I used like a silicone ring instead,
Yeah.
which isn't as big of an issue. And smart rings are way thicker than a regular like wedding
Yeah,
band.
that's what I'm thinking. Like this is supposed to be a fitness tracker and like a health tracker, but I don't want to wear it while I'm doing any of the fitness things that I'm.
That's
doing.
that's my
That's an
issue.
my concern.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it has a 7-day battery life, so I can track sleeping and track all kinds of other things.
You're supposed to be able to swim with it.
Yep, 100 meters again. So you can go real deep. You can go
Deep sea dive.
scuba diving with it on if you wanted to. So that's cool. It's $399. That's out there. That's kind of it. It has a cool case, by the way. If you put it on the case, it's got this like pin system for charging, and then it like lights up a ring around the ring, showing how much battery you have.
Oh, cool.
Which is kind of neat. And we have a shot of that in the video if you want to see what that looks like.
That is really cool.
That's
I was
about
wondering what that case was.
Yeah,
It's a charging case.
clear cases are back.
Yeah, but
That's
you don't need
that's
a
what I've
charging
noticed.
case for it.
You don't?
No, the other ones just have like a little stand that you just plop it onto.
Oh. But don't you want to charge on the go?
Well, yeah. Now this is what that's for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I think last thing is it starts at $3.99. Did we say that already?
We did.
We did say
It's-
that already.
That seems kind of expensive to me.
No subscription.
How much is your superhuman ring? Wait,
I
is that what
believe it's
called?
ultra.
No, that's the trash can.
ultra human.
No, that's the email app.
Yeah, email app is superhuman. Simple human is the trash can. Glad
That's
we
the
got
tra-
that
yeah.
out of the way.
You're ultra human. You're ultra
It's
human.
$2.99, no subscription.
You're ultra human.
Oh,
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty good.
So
is
it's
it?
the price of the Aura with
Let
no
me just fact
subscription.
check that, but yeah.
Is there anything that your ring does or doesn't do that's like very different from the Samsung
Can
ring?
connect to other Android phones.
Connect to other phones.
That's probably the main thing.
Low key, yeah, that's what I was thinking about when we were going over all this. Is that I can still connect to whatever I want. But it seems like the
Is it good?
Galaxy Ring, yeah, it's pretty good. The Galaxy Ring does more active what's the word?
Noise cancellation.
No, sensoring, I guess. Like if I want to do a workout, I have to go into thank you. If I have to go into the app and start workout. The Galaxy Ring will automatically do that, which
Auto
is nice.
workout detection.
Yeah.
I actually think that's huge because
It is.
I hated on my Whoop band when I wore it for a while that I had to go get my phone, start the workout because there's no auto detection on things. And that's a pain in the neck when you want to just like put your phone away and go do something.
So the Ultra Human Ring is $349. So it's right in the middle.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting. Up
Not
to 6
bad.
days of battery life.
Pretty similar. So yeah, I feel like a lot of these are comparable. I'm gonna jump into the rings testing market. So if anyone has any other things I should look out for when testing them, feel free to leave a comment. Let me know. If you use an Aura ring, let me know what you like about it. So when I test this, I know what to look for.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I know my ring size now, so that's cool. I think that's it. Oh, it's the Samsung. Okay. Yeah, I'll grab it in a second. I'll be in there in a minute and a half.
Quick update for podcast listeners. Marques got a call in the middle of the podcast that the Samsung devices were delivered. So we will be unboxing them.
And
first impressions
Live on the
on the pod.
And we almost didn't because he just put it to like call screening.
He tried
at
to answer
first
with
and
Bixby,
ignored
which
it. Imagine we don't get the Samsung products because Bixby answered something. What are those?
Hey guys,
what are those?
Oh.
we got a bunch of boxes here.
Oh, wow. Samsung Claus has arrived.
Yeah, so you'll never believe who just stopped by. The phone call that I kept dismissing was actually a Samsung. So these are all the devices we just talked about. This
Okay.
is the Watch Ultra with the orange band. Is that the one that you're interested
That's
in?
one he wanted. But he wanted the
Well,
silver.
no, there's the one Adam wanted, I think.
Oh.
Sort of.
We got the Flip
Yes, you're
6 and the Fold 6, which I believe that would be the silver and the blue.
Okay.
This new little super minimal box,
Yeah.
which I'm kind of into actually.
Cool art style.
Cool design. And Buds 3 Pro, light box for the Buds 3, dark box for the Buds 3 Pro,
Because Pro is dark.
classic. And the Galaxy Ring, this better be the matte black one. This
How-
better be the matte black.
Does it say on the
It's
top?
black on the
Gold.
front, so I'm
It's
assuming
black on the front.
Yeah, I think the ring on the front would represent the color.
Okay, I hope so, yeah. So the Galaxy Ring.
Cool.
So yeah.
Nice.
We just finished talking about them. Now you can leave a comment about which ones you'd want to see a review of first. I'm just going to put it out there. The Ring got the most comments. The
Yeah.
Ring got the most interest in general.
I think
from what I've seen.
I think we should do the ring first.
So it's probably going to be the first thing I unbox and test.
Yeah.
But let us know if you're also interested in what else.
Are
we
you
have to
saving
say
the
about these.
unboxing experience for video?
When Andrew asks that, what he means is, can I take it out the box right now? Is that cool? Yeah, go ahead.
The watch?
Yeah.
Really?
Can I see the
Oh,
buds?
let's.
Yeah.
Can I see the buds?
Can
Which
I do
ones?
the ring?
Both.
Both. Okay, there you go. And you want to unbox the Ring?
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever unboxed something on the podcast before.
All at the
First
same time.
time.
At the same time? Oh, yeah, hold on. I'll wait. Sorry, I did one pull tab.
We can pull
you.
together.
We can pull through this together.
Pull through.
I just have to say,
Okay.
this says don't accept the seal is broken. This definitely looks like it's got one of the double seals. I don't know.
It's chaotic. I'm opening the phone as well.
Is this not double sealed? Like they definitely opened it and then re-put a seal on?
Probably.
That seems like typical review unit.
Yeah.
Marques has the
Ooh.
fold.
I have the fold out the box. It is
Oh.
titanium.
This is so much like the Apple Watch Ultra, where it's got this box for the
Yep.
the watch and the band inside
And it's a white box inside the black
with
box.
white arrow with the black arrows.
It's on my
The
homework,
price is like on the box itself,
Oh.
which is kind of weird.
Oh, this case
Oh, wait,
for
can
the
I get
ring is
everybody to
sick.
be silent for 3 seconds?
Yeah.
Pretty satisfying considering it's the like paper screen cover, which have not been as. Whoa, this is all
Yeah.
bent on the inside.
This looks like some
Do you see this?
Xiaomi stuff. Oh my god.
What's wrong with this box?
Oh my god.
Okay.
Pretty durable.
Unboxing,
Pretty
yeah.
durable.
Why
This
are
is
you
why
hugging?
Marques does
We
it.
do it live. Wait, what's
Oh, this is not.
is interesting.
Wait, this is not the Apple Watch.
Oh, they glow. You see that? See the glow?
Simultaneous unboxing experience.
Oh, I got you. So this is the ring case closing. Ready?
It's a light plastic one? Light plastic.
Oh,
No, this package is incredible. The way the lights of the device integrate with the packaging.
Yeah, that's nice.
pretty cool.
You see the,
This
the
is- All right.
ring?
wait. Can confirm now though. The question before, this definitely does not fit with an Apple Watch because it doesn't slide. It snaps as the Apple Watch Ultra.
These feel really light.
Which is good.
I
I
guess
mean,
that's
bad.
good.
I mean,
No, I think it's good.
Good.
Maybe. They feel kind of
Well,
cheap,
that's the thing about certain wearable tech is you want it to be light because you're wearing it,
but it's more
Good.
but it feels cheap because it's light.
Right.
bad.
Like a VR headset.
Good. Bad.
Yeah. Headphones.
Good.
Like, you know how Apple makes headphones that are heavier than everyone else's? They feel really premium, but they're also so heavy.
Good.
And they make a VR headset that's heavier than everyone else's, so it feels really premium, but it's also so heavy.
Bad.
Yeah.
Good.
So now, yeah.
I love
Plastic
I
aprons.
love this.
So we just unboxed everything except this next trivia question.
Well played.
Damn.
Yes, and bye.
Damn, I'm good. All right. So,
Trivia
quick update on
queen.
the score, by the way. We're all tied at 13.
Oh shoot.
Wow.
That
Crazy.
seems really unlucky.
Yeah. Well, it's going to change this episode.
I hope so.
I hope so.
If you guys get points.
So, this next trivia question is an audio round. I sent Ellis an audio clip that he is going to play, and the question will come immediately
Audio
after.
file.
Is it in 16 kilohertz?
Today, our phones aren't just music players or web browsers. They're portals to the most important places, people, and passions in our lives. And yet, they have the same screens they had 10 years ago, boxed in on all sides. Until now, the isn't just a new smartphone, but a new kind of smartphone. It marks a new era in smartphone design, the perfect balance of form and function, art and science, design and technology. And it's my pleasure to introduce an innovation that will change the way you see your smartphone and everything on it. The Infinity Display.
What phone was this?
He said. It's the.
I love when it's bleeping sound rounds because it just sounds like they're cursing instead.
There's so many options for this.
It's not the the Xiaomi one because that would have been in Chinese.
No, this is a Samsung.
Infinite
phone.
display?
Infinity Display.
Infinity display.
I'm just trying
What
to
was the
figure out
first
which
phone to
one.
have that?
Well, there's multiple answers to that.
Well, okay. I'll give you a little hint here. The first Samsung phone to have that.
There's also still multiple answers.
I have an answer that will probably be wrong. But
right.
at least I got the first one right.
Well, we'll think about this one, and we'll be back after the break. Support for Waveform comes from Coda. A successful business doesn't happen by accident. It takes efficiency, flexibility, and tenacity to build something that lasts, especially when you're starting out.
Do you remember the first podcast episode?
Oh, I do. It took a lot of tenacity.
Yeah, you basically had to fly back from California to record our first episode on a Thursday and then fly back out. And then I edited it for a Friday.
Wouldn't change a thing.
Wouldn't change
Change a thing. But look, if you're in the early days of a startup or a small business, you might want to try Coda. Coda is an all-in-one platform that blends the flexibility of docs and structure of spreadsheets and the power of applications and the intelligence of AI. So with Coda, you can communicate and collaborate on documents, roadmaps, and tables instantly, set and measure OKRs with full visibility across teams, and access hundreds of templates and get inspired by others in Coda's gallery. Coda empowers your startup to strategize, plan, and track goals effectively. Take advantage of this limited time offer just for startups. Go to coda.io/wave today and get a 6-month of the team plan. So that's coda.io/wave to get started for free and get 6 months of the team plan. coda.io/wave.
Support for this show comes from Meta.
Have a question or need how-to advice? Just ask Meta AI. Whether you want to design a marathon training program that will get you race-ready for the fall, or you're curious what planets are visible in tonight's sky, Meta AI has the answers. Perhaps you want to learn how to plant basil when your garden only gets indirect sunlight. Meta AI is your intelligent assistant. It can even answer your follow-up questions, like what you can make with your basil and other ingredients you have in your fridge. Meta AI can also summarize your class notes, visualize your ideas, and so much more. The best part is you can find Meta AI right in the apps you already have: Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, and Messenger. Just tag Meta AI in your chat or tap the icon in the search bar to get started. It's the most advanced AI at your fingertips. Expand your world with Meta AI.
Support for Waveform comes from Oracle. AI might be the most important technological shift since the invention of the internet. It's storming every industry and literally billions of dollars are being invested. But the problem is that AI needs a lot of speed and processing power, so how do you compete without costs spiraling out of control? Simple, by upgrading to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. OCI is a single platform for your infrastructure, database, application development, and AI needs. So OCI has 4 to 8 times the bandwidth of other cloud-based systems and offers one consistent price instead of variable regional pricing. Train your AI models at twice the speed and less than half the cost of other models with Oracle. So if you want to do more and spend less, like Uber, 8x8, Databricks Mosaic, take a free test drive of OCI at oracle.com/waveform. That's oracle.com/waveform. Oracle.com/waveform.
Willkommen. We are going to talk very briefly.
What did you say?
German. It's German.
Else, you were just speaking German a bunch to me yesterday, and you didn't understand that one?
I know a few German expressions, but not all of the language.
I don't know why I knew that was. It just sounded German.
Well, a lot of German words just sound like English words.
House. I'm right. It's true.
Anyway.
True. Okay. However, butterflies, Schmetterling.
That's
Ambulance.
way cooler than butterflies.
Yeah,
Ambulance is notably like Krankenwagen.
It's Krankenwagen, yeah, because it's the crazy car.
We are so far off topic.
And crazy also meant sick. It's the same thing.
But
Anyway.
David can't hear the Krankenwagen when his
Krankenwagen.
he doesn't have his
Krankenwagen.
His noise cancellation is on.
Yeah.
All right. I want to talk about Spotify adding comments to podcasts and ActivityPub.
Okay.
ActivityPub's not part of this.
I was wondering.
I am going to make it part of it.
Okay.
So there's an update to Spotify recently where they're now allowing comments on podcasts. The way that they're implementing this is very interesting. Effectively, listeners can leave comments on podcasts, but every single comment is held for review. So you only show the comments that you want to show, which seems very authoritarian.
We
view.
like for Waveform we would choose.
Yeah.
Imagine if Yelp was like that.
You only put the nice. But that's
This
the thing.
food sucked.
That's
Nah.
that's already kind of a weird thing about this is like you're probably only going to publish the positive comments, which is strange. And then people can leave comments on the podcast itself, which to me just is a review. But okay,
Yeah, it's what Apple Podcasts has done that forever.
you leave a comment on the podcast
You
itself?
you rate and it has a comment.
Yeah, but that's a review.
Yeah. I'm agreeing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just calling it something different.
There's also other podcasts that are like on Substack or something where you can do comments in there and it turns into a kind of discussion type of area. So I guess that's kind of what they're going for.
I guess. Yeah, it's weird that every single comment is vetted, but you know. They previously had a poll and Q&A option on podcasts in Spotify that apparently got a decent amount of traction. Yeah. So now they're allowing for comments. And in my opinion, this is just like another way for them to try to keep people in the Spotify podcasting ecosystem. Similarly to the other day when we talked about Apple Music or Apple Podcasts allowing for subscriptions within Apple Podcasts. This goes against everything that podcasts were made for. The phrase "get it wherever you get your podcasts" is a very powerful phrase because podcasts based on RSS can just go through the system. And I am consistently more frustrated at every platform that tries to make unique features in their ecosystem that keeps people in their ecosystem when podcasts as a idea are made to be gotten anywhere. So
this one feels like not as like the Apple one was like you
That's
get
worse.
bonus content for
Yeah.
paying throughout that. This is just like
it is worse.
the people on this platform are being able to comment
Yeah.
and stuff.
It's just that if you had ActivityPub, right? Okay. So ActivityPub, podcasts can already go through ActivityPub. And so if you have a platform that can accept these federated pieces of content, you could just comment on a podcast through ActivityPub, and then you would be able to see those comments everywhere. So you don't need to just be locked into the Spotify platform to see the Spotify comments for a podcast. You'd be able to see everyone's comments for the podcast.
But you said those magical words there, locked in. If I'm Spotify, I want people locked in.
Yeah.
If you have most of the people in the ecosystem, because when we talk about standards organizations, Apple usually wants to lock people in as well, but they embraced Matter because nobody has Apple HomeKit devices, because they don't have that many HomeKit devices, and there's way more Google Assistants and Amazon Echo devices out there, so it's easier for them to do that. Anyway, I'm just saying that considering podcasts were originally made to be gotten anywhere, it's just very frustrating to see like more and more platforms like trying to make more features that are exclusive to the platform. I agree with you that that's not a huge deal.
Yeah, I think this
in
one's
this case.
minor, but
I'm much more angry at Apple for this. But
it would be cool. Podcasting, because it's made available anywhere, also makes it really hard for us to tell like downloads and listens and even like see reviews. Before, reviews were mostly only on Apple Podcasts. Then Spotify added a star system with no comments, and then now there are comments, but that's still annoying that they're on two. Like, our podcast could be a 3-star on Spotify and a 5-star on Apple Podcasts.
Should that all be federated?
Yes.
It would be great if it could
ratings, all of the comments.
Yeah, because that's just everyone in the world. Like, why is there a difference between the people on one platform and another platform? Like, if there's an app on the Google Play Store and an app on the Apple App Store and they have different ratings, it's like you can do the math yourself, I guess, to get the average rating between them.
With that one, it's tricky because they might genuinely be a different experience.
That's fair enough, yeah.
But if it's the same podcast in multiple places, then
Wait, Apple people hear our podcast differently than Android people.
Oh, the messaging?
Oh,
we were not supposed to say that out loud.
Cut that, Adam. Cut that.
Wait. the subtle messaging.
I don't know what just happened. But I kind of agree, David, because I feel like content should be the universal thing.
Yeah.
Like comments, Q&As, polls, everyone should be able to see that. I like the idea of everyone competing on features, not on content.
Exactly.
So like Threads, for example, under desktop mode, just put the like TweetDeck kind of style thing. That's cool.
Yeah.
But like eventually they'll be federated or whatever, and I can choose which one I want.
The analogy is when the Twitter API was open and we had all the different Twitter apps, and you downloaded a different Twitter app because it had different features. Like that should be, the content should be the universal thing, and then the features around the content should be your thing that you compete on.
Hypothetical, should YouTube be included in this?
I think so.
Yeah,
because our podcast on YouTube has hundreds of comments every week, and lots of ratings on every episode.
Yeah,
it's just, it's not a. I mean, if we put the same video everywhere, it's the same content.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree, because like right now you can put a video on Twitter or whatever, and it's like you're gonna get comments. So why isn't there just a comment section for everything?
Shareholder value.
That's actually the real answer.
I know.
Yeah, we all know that's the answer.
I just think it would be great. It's like, imagine you have a blog and very few people go to your blog on your website to comment on your website's blog. But you publish the blog on Twitter and tons of people talk about it. Why aren't the comment sections the same on Twitter or Threads than they are on your blog? Like, they could all be the same comment section.
Do you remember Google Plus?
Every time we talk about ActivityPub, Marques has like a golden look in his eye where he's like remembering the Google Plus days.
Back in my day, every website had a +1 button in the corner, and that was just across the whole internet. You could be the first one to +1 an article. You could be the 5,000th person to +1 something, and everything had some sort of comment system.
Yeah, at least ActivityPub is standardized by the World Wide Web Consortium and not Google.
Fair.
I wouldn't want a company to be the one that's running like all comment sections around the entire internet.
Especially because it was dead 2 years later.
So if we could
especially Google.
If we could hypothetically upload this podcast video everywhere, like Marques was suggesting, would the features that bring us to YouTube be monetization?
On YouTube.
Discoverability, I think, is numero uno.
Yeah.
How do you say that in German? Uns
That's
is
a total guess.
eins, yeah. But what's number?
I think it's Numer,
Just erase all the vowels.
pretty much.
All the Germans are gonna yell at you.
Yeah.
I'm German. I'm 50%
U
German.
is a vowel. A-E-I-O-U.
Sometimes why?
Why?
Sometimes. Sometimes.
Sometimes it's most of the time. Claire and I just had this discussion though.
Yeah.
It's A-E-I-O-U and pretty much all of the time Y.
Is the Y in sync a vowel?
How often is Y? Y is more often a vowel. No.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Is a Y at the end a vowel?
Yeah.
I
Okay,
think
then
what
yeah.
you're saying is yucky.
Damn. Ellis is
That was
going.
one example.
He had
Two.
two. Your.
What?
You.
Yeah.
Lil Jon was right all along.
That's Soldier Boy.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't mean that. That's my age demographic too.
It is Nummer eins, by the way. I was right.
Nummer eins.
Nummer.
I'm gonna get canceled for vowels. That's how I'm leaving this podcast is vowels.
Nummer eins. America.
We need to end this
now
podcast right now.
It's a great time to do
To
trivia
federate.
answers. Let's do trivia.
Get in the Fediverse.
I gotta start testing these devices too. Here's the
Thank you
board.
very much.
All right, question number 1. Before what do they call it? Quick share.
Nummer eins.
After nearby share, they called it
Quick share.
quick share. Okay, there was quick share, and before that there was nearby share, and before that it used NFC. What was Google's NFC wireless data transfer protocol called? For anyone in the audience, I read on the internet that NFC has a standard distance limitation of 4 centimeters, and I could not find a single citation for that fact, despite Googling and Googling and Googling. So if you're an engineer and you happen to know where I can find the official citation for 4 centimeters being the maximum distance for NFC communication, podcast at mkbhd.com is where to send it. Flip 'em and read, boys.
Android Beam.
Android Beam is correct. What else do we have?
We both are tap to share.
Debuted on the Nexus 4.
I remember that. Damn.
Yep.
Remember that.
Android Beam is such a good name.
If this is multiple choice,
It is.
Android Beam is like definitely something they would call it back then in the Android days, where they were like really embracing the like alien vibe, and now they're like, no, we need to be
Google boring.
Yeah.
Well, it's really funny because I feel like beam implies like distance, but your phones had literally had to be touching
the
these.
opposite
That's
of
like-
beam.
It only touched to get the handshake, I
No.
believe. No?
They had to be touched. They had to be 4 centimeters away.
Oh, yeah,
which
you
is,
had to, yeah.
Yeah, which is, if I
During
was,
the entire transfer.
yes. If I was 4 centimeters away from Adam, he'd be like, "You're touching me right now."
Yeah, but now you can transfer heat, which is what the
And
phones
data.
are doing.
And data and payment information apparently.
And contact information.
Question number 2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play you, or well, more accurately, Ellis is gonna play you an audio clip from a Samsung Unpacked event.
Phones aren't just music players or web browsers, they're portals to the most important places, people, and passions in our lives. And yet they have the same screens they had 10 years ago.
Curious.
Boxed in on all sides. Until now, the isn't just a new smartphone, but a new kind of smartphone. It marks a new era in smartphone design, the perfect balance of form and function, art and science, design and technology. And it's
Jesus.
my pleasure
It's
to
a
introduce
phone,
an
bro.
innovation that will change the way you see your smartphone and everything on it. The Infinity Display.
What phone was announced with Infinity Display? That year, there were multiple phones with Infinity Display, but this was specifically for a single phone when they first announced it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Shoot.
Like, which phone were they
Yeah, I
talking
think
about
I'm wrong
during
also.
this
I
I
part?
must be wrong.
All right, flip him and read.
Multiple phones with Infinity Display?
What do you got,
Wait.
David?
Oh. I put Galaxy Fold 1. Well, Galaxy Fold. Oh.
Andrew?
I put the Galaxy Note Edge.
Nope. Marquez?
Put the real answer is the Galaxy Note Edge, but that's not the answer you want. You want me to say Galaxy S8.
Damn.
Oh, I remember.
Spot on.
Oh, wow.
But the Note Edge did it before that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, but only
so
on one
that's
side.
that.
Only on one side.
Exactly.
They didn't call it
They
that.
didn't call it the Infinity
It
Display.
only
Wait.
wrapped around the right side of the phone.
Why would a device called the Edge have something called the Infinity Display?
Because both sides.
It was just that
So it
only
looked
one
like it was
edge of it
infinite.
had the
the
like
S8 was the
folding
first
over
like
play.
curled.
But only on one side.
But what?
No, both. So this was back in the obsession
Edge
over
only had one.
screen to body ratios,
Yeah.
where phone manufacturers would quote like, "We have an 89% screen to
Yeah.
body ratio," and then someone would go, "We've got 90," and they'll go,
Okay.
"Oh my god, 92." And this was
I
when
see.
Samsung was just like, "We curved the screen
Wow.
over the edges, and it basically looks like it's an infinite screen to body ratio."
No.
I totally knew that.
What's confusing about that soundbite though is they're like screens haven't changed in 10 years. Well, except for ours like a year ago, the Galaxy
Yeah.
Note Edge
Yeah.
that we're basically taking this away from.
Yeah.
I remember that being called Infinity Display now.
I was just confused. Like, if you were going to call something Infinity Display, I don't know why you'd call attention to an Edge. 'Cause
Yeah,
that,
when
you
you're
know, it's,
looking
like,
at it from
not
the
very
front,
infinite.
it basically looks infinite
No,
because you can't
get
see
it
the
now.
bottom
They should have
of
called
it.
it the whatever. Let's just wrap up this episode.
I'll take the point though.
Cool.
Wow.
Wow. All right. Well, that was fun. Well, we've got a bunch of testing now to do, as you can tell by the video version of the podcast. We've just got boxes scattered everywhere, and we've got them in our hands. So let us know what you want to see in the reviews. I'm going to be wearing all kinds of stuff and holding things and testing. So we'll be reading your comments.
One smart ring for each finger.
Are you gonna double watch, Marques?
I may have to have one earbud in one ear and the other in the other.
You should wear
have one
10
phone in
rings.
each pocket and
10
have
rings.
a bunch of rings on it. It's going to be a good
Still think
time.
that would be a 6 short.
Yeah.
Just
So-
starting it like this.
Catch you guys in the next podcast with all the wearables on at the same time. Thanks for watching. See you guys later. Peace.
Waveform is produced by Adam Molina and Ellis Rovin. We are partnered with the Vox Media Podcast Network, and our intro outro music was created by Vainsil.
Bingo!
Love you, Microsoft.
Do you?
No.